Well, after another dominant 1-2 finish for Mercedes in Spain, Barcelona last week, Mercedes just continues riding their momentum as they continue to uphold and dominate the Tier 1 season for F1. But we are now moving into round 8 of the season. We are at Austria here for RPL Formula 1 season 15. And let's get this ball rolling. Cyanide Wolf on hand for comms tonight. Currently by myself. Wildstorm was out last week for stuff that he had to do. I was away last week. I was on vacation, but I'm back for this week of action and racing here. So we got about 20 people participating in tonight's festivities. So we're just waiting on a couple of people. Last I checked with the lineup, we're just missing 4 people. So like I said, we're just missing Savage. We're missing Savage. Missing Savage. Oh no, there's Savage. We're missing Cookie and a couple of other people. Let's see. I don't know if I have him. I don't know if I do or not. I don't see him so far. Let's see. I'm not sure who's missing. Oh, we got 21. Okay. Bear with us in a minute. All right, so we're just missing a few people. So we're missing Brad, Cookie, Minako, and 2 newcomers. Okay, so we have no idea what's going on with the second Audi of Brad. He is not answering. Minako is having internet issues. Is having the internet issues and can't seem to get on. And turns out the 2 new guys, which was gonna be uh, Abu Bakr and Jacob. They were going to be making their Tier 1 debut. One was in V-Carb and the other was in Aston Martin. And they both told Zakaria, we don't want to be in the back. We don't want to be back of the grid. So they're not coming. And from the sounds of it sounds like they're going to get kicked. So for right now, we currently have 17 individuals participating. Hopefully Minico gets in and we'll be having an 18th. So basically for Q1, as it sits here, just one driver is going to be out of Q1, and then that's it, really. But yeah, so last week, we had Barcelona, and Gecko was the winner of that event. Cookie was second and still kept second despite getting a track limit penalty himself, getting himself a time penalty for an incident he was involved in. And Night Owl wound up getting himself in the third. Now, with Gecko's win, full and official, that puts him at 3 wins so far for this season. So he ties his boss and partner Cookie, and he is currently tied with Jack for the 8th all-time wins with 11. And Mercedes gets their 6th win of the season. They go to 70 altogether for their total. Now, pole last week in Spain was Cookie. That is his third, and he stretches his pole lead with 39 total. And Mercedes, their pole, which is number 5, puts them at, well, giggity, number 69. Now, let's see, with the podiums, Gecko stays 9th all time with 30. Cookie goes up to number 57 as Josh just finishes up his time lap with a 5.4 for his run. And looks like coming up next, looks like one guy's just getting his lap run on, and here is Fusion just going through turns 9 and 10 to finish up his time lap. Roars across the line, and it is a 5.2. Now, the Williams did get a bit of a nerf, I think it was, from what I've been told, is that the chassis is, basically the car is not as broken as it is anymore. So we'll see how the Williams fares coming into, well, I don't know how they were last week because I didn't watch. I was on vacation, but let's see how they are for this week. This night, and I just got informed by Reese as Cookie goes fastest with a 4.5. I just got informed by Reese we have a wet race for tonight. Oh, joy to the world! I love that. Let's see. All right. Actually, wait a minute. Podiums might not be updated. 16. Okay. So the podium for Spain hasn't been included yet. I'll have to get that fixed in a bit. But anyways, Night Owl, a couple of tenths behind for the Q1 session. So this is our first Q1 in a little while. And Red Fire's 4.6. Good stuff for him in that McLaren. Good stuff there. What's random over Cryptic? Oh, never mind. He invalidated his time. And Gecko goes slightly faster than Cookie. Alright, well, let's go on board with Bobby Lyons here as he heads up the hill into turn number 1, drops down the 4th gear, rides the curb, on and out, hits this straight mode, roars down through turn 3, turns 2. Here it comes into turn number 3 and 4. Ooh, little lock up there. There's a car in the way. But, what's that? What the hell was that? I think Gecko reset. Or he glitched. Maybe he glitched. I don't know. Anyways, back to Bobby. He's going through up to turn 7 and 8 now. 44, just about 45 flat in the sector 2. Roars down straight mode again. Heads into turn number 9. High in 7th gear. Little evilness out of that car into the final couple of corners. And roaring across the line. Let's see what Bobby's got for a time. And it's 4th fastest. 4.688. That's 3 thousandths behind Red Fire at this moment. Let's see what Reese has as he's going into the last couple of corners to wrap up his time. Cryptic's restarting on his run. Make sure he gets a lap in. And Reese, he goes top of the board by 0.05 of a second. 4.372. That is a really solid, that's a good solid run by Reese there. And I think Gecko is retrying his lap. Let's see what he's got. And into turn number 6. Now 7 and 8. He's actually improved by about 31 thousandths. That's going to put him at the 391 range. Let's see what he's got for sector 3 here. Nice stuff in the 9. Now in the 10. Cookie feels he's done enough to go through. Rightfully so. And Gecko goes ahead. 320. 4.320. He's good. Night Owl feels he's done enough, so he should be okay and good. Let's take a look at the gaps here. So there is the time. There's his fastest lap there. So 963. So Reese had the better. Reese was better by over a 10th in sector 1. Gecko was about 32 thousandths up in sector 2, but sector 3 was where Gecko really shined. He was close to a 10th and a half faster than Reese in the 3rd sector. Oh man. Rain coming for Q2, wet Q3, and a wet race. Oh, that's even better. That is even better. Huh. Alright, well, let's take a look. While we're figuring that out, let's take a look at here's our 17 drivers that are participating here today. So we have Gecko, our pole position in the Mercedes. We have Reese and McLaren, with Red Fire Tiger as his teammate. Cookie, potentially, he couldn't get it done last week, but he could tonight. He has a chance to break the all-time win record in F1. He is tied for it at 43. So can he shatter it tonight? We got Bobby and Night Owl in the Ferrari. As you can see, with Bobby here. And we have Savage, who basically is embracing what Egg does and changes his name like every other week. We have Fusion and Goat Lee in the Williams. Cryptic is in the second Red Bull. We have Josh and AMS Knights in the Haas. We have Optic in the V-Carb. He would have had a teammate in Abu Bakr, but Abu Bakr basically just rage quit saying, "Nah, I don't want to be in a car that's at the back of the grid." Even though V-Carb is like the 6th best car in the grid, I think. You have Dylan in the Audi. Brad would have been his teammate, but Brad is nowhere to be found. And also, the guy's not even answering, so I want to know where the hell he is. Blonde and Dom are in the Cadillac, and Chungus, who is on loan from the McLaren Academy, he is in the Alpine. He would have Minico with him, but Minico is deciding to have a war with his internet. Well, or his internet decided to go to war against him. I think Minico's asking for an invite, so let's see if I can get him. Anyways, let's see what Fusion's got as he's just coming across. Oh, he went a little too wide, but hey, he just missed his time by about a hundredth of a second. So, let's see what he's got there. Meanwhile, there's Knights currently on his run. Now he had not so pleasant looking runs. I think he's just getting everything figured out on the car. It's been a little bit for Knights, from what I remember. And here we go. As Gecko has called it, so he is more than safely through. Red Fire's just wrapping up his lap, and he improves by about 500ths of a second, but he still stays in 4th place. I think Red, I would say just hold on to your tire and just wait till Q2, I guess. But anyways, here comes Knights, and he does a hell of a lot better from that scuff run. He's up to 5.826. So he's about 15 thousandths off of his academy teammate of Blonde, but he is, for the time being, through to Q2. Now Chungus, by the way, he's about 10th down. He's about 10th off in the first sector, so he's not improving in the first sector, but he is at the bubble cusp to get into Q2 for right now. He's just gonna have hope that Dom doesn't do anything to best his time. Optic, by the way, in the P12, he is called it for his section, so he definitely should be fine and safe for Q2. Now let's see what Chungus has as he gets through the last few corners and navigates his way correct. And not to go too wide, don't risk it. And there he goes across the line. A lot better. Right there, almost half a second up. That's a 5.734. That puts him in 14th. He goes just ahead of Blonde by about 75 thousandths of a second. A few more drivers calling it. They believe they've definitely done enough. Guys like Josh, Fusion, Night Owl, they believe they've done more than enough to get through. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Crypt is just double checking to be sure on this, but yeah. But yeah, basically, like I said, Cryptic, in this case right now, the only one currently at risk of being knocked out is Dom. Unless Brad and Minico wind up showing up and manage to get a time in. But nothing from Brad yet. No word from Brad yet, and Minico's doing another full reset. Anyways, let's see. Well, it looks like Chungus is back on the run again. Is back on another run, and he's already almost a tenth up in the first sector. Let's see if he can do better in the second sector here. Blonde's on the time lap as has just started his time lap. Knights and Dom are on theirs. And let's see, here comes Chungus up to the second sector. And he's doing better here. Almost just over a tenth and a half up. That is going to put him probably just ahead of Optic here in the 12th place spot. Let's see what he's got in the last corners. Comes down. Nice. Nice hugging that inside. And across. Yeah, he's 12th. 5.57, 557. Good lord, I'm getting my fives mixed up. But yeah, Chunk is up to the 12th place position. And good stuff there. Blonde is going to be recharging and trying again. He made a mistake. And yeah, he's definitely made a mistake there. Dom really needs to get something done right if he wants a chance here. About 40 seconds left. Looks like he's just going to redo and just restart and just hope he does better. Just does better here. Now, Knights currently on the cusp right now. 8.5 tenths separates Knights and Dom. So Dom has an extremely tall order here if he wants a shot to get himself into Q2 here. There we go. Let's see what Dom's got as he goes through turn 1. Roars down that straightaway through turns 2 and 3. Now up to turn 4. He's off by about 17 thousandths of a second, so no improvement there. Chung is back into the pits. He's done. Cryptic moving out of the way for Blonde. Oh, no, sorry. He's moved out of the way for Knights, who is up by almost 2/10 of a second. Oh, he just invalidated. Oh, man. That's a 580, so he would have swapped with Blonde. So now he's just going to have to hope here. Here comes there, and he goes wide. He's up by, well, Dom's up by 1,000th of a second. So Blonde, who just got his time in, a 692, which is an improvement, he is safe. And Dom just validated as another time. And even in that sense, he would have been knocked out if that lap counted. 6.511, a 6.111. He was off by just about a quarter of a second. So Dom is the only driver knocked out of Q1. And the top 3 going into Q2, well, Gecko controls Q1 by beating Reese by 52 thousandths of a second. Alright, so here we are for Q2, and everybody's going to come out because the rain is on its way. So everyone's going to get a lap, try to get their lap in before the rain shows up. And everybody's coming out, as you can see. And they want to make sure they get their lap in before the rain shows. Because if the rain shows and you're on a lap, you're in trouble. I mean, heck, if you invalidate, you're in trouble. And And the nice part is, and I just realized this, I am so happy with this. Live at home for me, I have a new TV, and I can finally see the positions, like the positions of people, the little arrow thing on the right side of the screen, on the left side of the screen, with the cycles, the cars. I can finally see that now. For months I couldn't, but now I finally can, and I am very happy now. Alright, so Dylan's just getting his time started. Let's just see what everybody's got, as everyone's backed up to try to create some room and not be in the dirty air of others, but let's see what we got here. As, let's see, everybody's going through, and Cookie is the last guy. So this could be we'll see how Cookie fares on this one, but here we go. Dylan into turn 5 and 6. Turns 4 and 5 to wrap up here. Now into turn 6. Let's see. There he goes there, and he is going to be your benchmark here. 45.6 for that Sector 2 time. Probably not the fastest here, but let's see what he's got. Going into the last couple corners. There's time before the rain shows. I'm not sure how long out it is, but here comes Dylan with the benchmark. And it is a 5.7. Josh responds with a 5.1. 5.4 for Blonde. 4.3 for Gecko. That's quite fast. 4.3 for Night Owl. Cryptic with a 5.0. Another 5.3. 4.3. Another one. Bobby with a 4.3. Red Fire with a 4.3. Cookie down in 6 with a 4.4. And there's the rain. And the rain's here. So basically your dry runs, it's all done. So, looking at the field here, as seen here, so we lose Josh, Optic, Blonde, Dylan, Knights, and Chungus. Those are your 6 out for Q2. And for Q3, we have Gecko, Red Fire, Bobby, Night Owl, Reese, Cookie, Savage, Goatly, Cryptic, and Fusion. Despite that nerf, I guess, both Williams make it to Q3. Both Williams make it to Q3. And with the rain here, I think for some of these guys, whoa, Bob, looks like Chungus had a bit of a problem on the entry, because he did lose a piece of his wing, and Bobby almost hit the back of him. Normally we'd be like, okay, everybody can retire now. Let's move on. But I think maybe because we have a wet race coming up, maybe a couple of these guys will probably go out on a set of inters just to get a little practice in before probably get themselves a little practice in before they head to Q3. Probably some of the guys in the top 10 probably will. I mean, those that are out of qualifying, I think these guys could probably probably the guys that are out, they could go back out. Chungus said his lap is because his wheel fell off the table in the middle of Sector 2. Ouch. That sucks. Cookie's asking them to stop retire to retire so we can move on to key three. And Cryptus just goes, "I'm taking a dump, man." Ah. Ooh. All right. Well, we're just waiting for people. Good Lord, we're still waiting. I'd say step away too, and now we're waiting. All right. Well, while we're waiting, let's take a look at the point standings since Cookie finally updated them. All right, so Gecko has the championship lead over his teammate Cookie, 139 to 118. Reese is currently sitting in third with 103, and then a bit of a gap because you had Night Owl in fourth with 84 points, and then we have a tie for fifth place between F1 Shorts and Red Fire with 47 points. That is the driver standings. Now looking at the constructor standings, well, it's way out there. So here we go. So Mercedes has the lead with 276 points over McLaren, who has only 159. Red Bull is sitting in the third position with 43. Oh, no, not 43. He's sitting at third with 108. And then Ferrari just overtook Williams for fourth with 94. Oh. Oh, my Lord. Cryptic's doing this just to fuck with people. Anyways, yeah, like I said, so get the top 10 going to Q3. We have Gecko, Redfire, Bobby, Night Owl, Reese, Cookie, Shorts, Goatly, Cryptic, and Fusion. That is your top 10. And Cryptic's just having a little fun. He's not making it to the end anyway, so we'll just wrap up Q2 right now. Ding, ding, ding. But yeah, so Gecko is on top by 13 thousandths over Redfire. And then we have Bobby in third, and Night Owl fourth, Reese in fifth. That's your top 5. All right, and it is a soaker for Q3. Now, is the Inters going to be the best tire, or are they going to be on, or are they going to, or is Inters too soaking wet? And looks like, all right, so we got Reese, Night Owl. So Reese, Night Owls, Cryptic, Bobby. And everybody's on their way out. Alright, so everybody's out. Goatly is the last one out. So the first person that was on here is there's Night Owl. Looks like Cryptic's having a little having a little fun with them. Just having a little bit of fun before the qualifying gets on. Because basically this is what they're going to be dealing with during the race. These types of conditions. So figure I have a little bit of action beforehand. Cryptic backs off. Let Night Owl do his thing. And Night Owl will be the benchmark for our wet qualifying session for Q3. Here we go. Save it. Don't dump it. Here we go. As Night Owl is heading down into turn number 1. A little squirrely, trying to fight. And he's just working and fighting that car just to keep it in control here. Cookie and Goatly just finally get their laps to begin. And here goes Night Owl into the last corner. Gets the rear tires roared up. Now to turn number 4 and 5. Let's see what they got. And heading in through there, just staying in control. That's the best part, as that rear just loves to kick. That ass end just loves kicking out. As you can see, as Niall's just fighting that car through 7, through 8. That squirrel again through 8. Just trying to rocket that car down and get the right momentum he wants. Let's see, Night Owl for that benchmark. A 4.3 was the fastest in Q2, and we have a benchmark of a 15.3 as Reese responds by going over a full second clear. Red Fire with a 14.6, Gecko with a 14.1. Here comes Cookie, and he gets a 14.0. Cookie responds by putting himself on top of the leaderboard. And there is the first batch of the Q3 times. See you right back. Looking at the times here, looks like Cookie just improved a little bit further, going with that 13.9. And Reese is going way up in his time, but he had a slot. He was just drifting in turn 8. That's going to kill a lot of his momentum. He was over 4/10 up in Sector 2, but that drift is going to cost him dearly. Here he comes down the straight and finishes up 13.9. So he did lose quite a bit of time, but Red Fire improves though. He's up to the top now with a 13.897. And now Gecko responds with a 13.7. And Cookie just chilling back. Now he's going to get a time restarted here. Just about 6 minutes left in Q3. And more cars have gotten their laps readjusted here. We saw Bobby just improve up. We got 3 up to there. He's got 14-1. But we got 3 drivers in the 13s. As Gecko is the top of it with a 13-7 and just about 2/10 clear of Reese, who's in 4th. Let's see what Cookie's got as he heads to turn number 5. Now to turn 6. Let's see what he's got for improvement. Reese is back in. He'll get a new set of inters and try again. Cookie, 2/10 up, so he's going to take back pole position again. And here we go as Gecko just got started on another lap. And Cookie just coming out of there. He's going to cross over and across 13-6. He's on top by over 3.5 tenths. So we'll see what everybody's got as they will work on improving their times. And we are into our last stages of qualifying as Red Fire improved. Red Fire improved, Cookie improved, Gecko improved. Everybody's improving. Riding on with Reese. Must get time to fight up here. So 13-4. So there's a few tenths off. There's Fusion up to 7th place. see what we got here. Is Gecko's back on the track. He's not going to make it. He's out of time. So Gecko's definitely not making it to get a lap in. So hopefully a couple of the cars that are behind, they get by him because his AI will be in the way. Reese back on it to get a final run in. Here's Red Fire up to the second sector. He's improved by over 2/10. That's going to put him at 227. I'll put him ahead of Gecko. And Fusion doesn't. Fusion gets his lap in. Gecko does not make it. Well, that's pretty obvious he wasn't going to make that. But here comes Red Fire across the line. Oh, he made a mistake. He lost all that momentum in the third sector. All the momentum was just gone. So Reese is now the last one that could chase and hunt Cookie down. Red Fire had a chance, but lost it in the third sector. Let's see what Reese has. He's almost 2.26 up. That's gonna put him at 13.26. Let's see what Reese has. Let's see what he's got in the final corner. Can Reese do the unthinkable? Comes across. He's done it. He's done it. Reese pole position by over 0.3 of a second over Cookie. Reese has gotten the pole position. And that is Reese's first pole of the season. First pole of the season for Reese, and McLaren gets their first pole of the season. Wow. But Reese puts the exclamation point in. Wow. Oh, his fuel gave out. Oh, Red Fire's fuel gave out. That's why Red Fire lost all of his momentum. He was out of oh man. All right. Reese, you said it was a wet race. Where's the rain? Red Fire ran out of fuel at the worst time. And apparently if that stuck, if he didn't run out, it would have been a McLaren 1-2. Damn. There we go. The 5 lights come on to start the Austrian Grand Prix of RPL. And the lights out and off we go. Reese gets a great start. Gecko, Cookie gets bogged down a little bit. Loses out to his teammate into turn 1. And Savage goes a little wide after maybe a little contact with Red Fire. And Savage losing out on a couple of positions. More cars cycling up into there. Oh, incoming! Incoming! That was Go Lee. That went incoming like a cruise missile. Hits both Ferraris. Everything's all right, I guess. Fusion battling with Cryptic for the 8th place position. He's trying to get the attention here. Here comes Cryptic battling out side by side. Here they come. And going through there, just ahead, there's Savage trying to battle it out with Night Owl. Cryptic trying to get in there. And Chungus has gone for a spin in turn 5. And hanging on. They're still together. Fusion saying, goodbye. I'm out of here. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Well, Cryptic just lost out on multiple spots. Josh up in the 8th. Optic the 9th. Fusion fell to 10th. First lap in the books, and Reese has the lead over. Has the lead over Gecko. And straight mode. Where's straight mode? Straight mode's not engaged. I guess straight mode's not engaged, but the overtake is engaged though. And Gecko trying to chase Reese down for the lead here. More positions being switched out. We have Blonde and Goat Lee battling with Dylan for the 13th place position. 3 wide into there. Oh, little contact between Goat Lee and Dylan. Oh, contact again as Goat Lee just muscles his way past Dylan. Little gray area there. Unless Dylan feels that could be something being seen by the stewards, perhaps there. But let's go out to the front. We got potential battle for the lead here, riding on board with Gecko. There he is, chasing Reese down. And we got trouble again. That is Chungus again, spins again in turn 6. And Gecko just goes, I'm gonna bide my time, and then just gun it down here. That's Gecko trying to rocket his way down to Rico for the lead here. Inside attack. Here comes Cookie, 3 wide. And Cookie he goes 2 wide. 3 wide and 2 wide goes Cookie. And into there. And Bobby's gone for an issue. Red Fire in trouble too. Red Fire in trouble. Reese loses out on second to Cookie, but what in the hell happened between Bobby and Red Fire? They lost out on numerous spots. They were battling it out for the 4th place position. That's allowed Savage to go up in the 4th place. Reese now falls out to both Cookie and Gecko. Now let's see. So we don't know when the rain is showing up. We do know it is coming. But when is it showing up? Damn, what a crazy start. We saw right in the turn 3, we saw Goat Lee just go flying in like a cannonball and just plays ping pong with 3 cars. Red Fire just gets himself in the 11th. Bobby winds up getting himself back in the top 10, so hey, there was an incident between Bobby and Red Fire, and Red Fire opted to let Bobby through. Let's see what we got. We'll have to figure this out, but let's take a look at the tires that everybody has here. And looks like Dylan has opted for the soft compound tires. Blonde has gone for the hard compounds. Everybody else is on the medium compound tires. So, I'm not seeing any damage on the Ferrari or the McLaren. No damage there. What about Night Owl? Does he have any damage from the wild ride that Goat Lee did? I don't see anything there, but looks like he is okay. Meanwhile, the Mercedes staying staying in there. There's Reese trying to chase him down as well. There's the rain showing up. Now we'll see how long it takes for the track to get too wet for the dry there. And there's Night Owl inside attack, gets past Savage, goes up into 4th. Now let's see how the rain pans out, because from what we saw earlier during Q2, the rain showed up about 11 minutes left in the quali, and then the low grip thing came up about 7 minutes later. So if that's the case, then currently that means we're entering lap 5 as the Mercedes pair switches. Cookie now has the lead. So if we're reading this correct, this is going to mean that, well, if it's the same as it is in Q2, then that means we're on lap 5 to begin with, which means that probably by lap 10 or lap 11 is when the inters will probably come into play. So that is going to be the case there. But since we're on lap 5, let's take a look at our biggest gainers and losers at the moment. Currently, our biggest gainer is Optic, gaining 6 positions since the beginning of the event. And the biggest loser, unfortunately, after an incident involving Bobby, Red Fire is currently the biggest loser right now, losing 7 spots since the start. And looks like Savage and Night Owl battling it out again. There's Chunkus is in trouble again. Oh, little contact. Night Owl goes a little off the track. Savage retakes the 4th place spot. Maybe Night Owl will be thinking like, hey, you forced me out the track. Let me have my spot back. And Night Owl does get back into 4th place. So that's an okay part there. It looks like we have a couple of people going into the pits already. We have Dylan, Knights, and Goat Lee going in, and they are jumping it and going for the inters. And the Mercedes pair switch up again. Gecko now takes the lead over Cookie, and Night Owl has a problem because he just lost not only the 4th place spot back to Savage, but Optic now takes over into 4th now in the 5th. So let's see who will be taking the shot. You know, it looks like some of these guys are gone in and are taking the gamble here. And oh, Cookie goes way wide out of the exit. He's way over, and Cookie now bails into the pits. And Savage does in there as well. Anybody else going in for their stops? We have a few people going in between Fusion. We have Fusion, Savage, Josh, Blonde. They're all in. And going on to the inters, Bobby gets very evil out of shape. Out of turn number 1. That's going to make him vulnerable because here comes Cryptic and Red Fire looking to make some moves. Red Fire makes his move on Cryptic and goes ahead into the 6th place position. Now, there's Chunkus dead ahead of Reese and Gecko. Meanwhile, side-by-side action between Red Fire and Bobby, and better this time around between them compared to earlier. And, ooh, Red Fire that car getting out of shape completely. Let's see what happens here. Are these guys going to be coming in? No, they're staying out for another lap. We didn't see him go towards the inside of the track. Optic will be making his move to go in. Much better entry there. Night Owl, Red Fire, they do a lot better there too. Yep, so these guys do a lot better. Now Optic did have 2 wheels over, but as long as he had 2 wheels in, he's safe and okay. As per the new pit rules. Unfortunately, from what we caught on our end, Cookie went a bit too far. He went completely wide over the white line on all 4 tires and then recrossed. So Prior to somebody watching it, they will send that to the stewards. Looks like we might have some action. Looks like Fusion was trying to make a move on Night Owl here. He's stuck on going the outside, trying a switchback, but can't get the momentum necessary to get the attack complete. And Night Owl maintains his 7th place position. Optic is up in the 6th currently. And let's see, the gap to the leaders. So Reese and Gecko make their move and in. I didn't get to see how their entry went. So I was focused on Night Owl and Optic there. Would have loved to see how Gecko and Reese did in regards to their stop. But now, with everybody on the inters, this is where it gets interesting. Oh my God, Dom is on the softs. Oh my God, they put him on the wrong tires. But Cookie now has the lead, and he's got a near 6-second lead over Gecko. So, rain inbound in play here. And poor Dom, I feel bad for him. He is stuck on the wrong compound. That's really gonna suck. Well, to see how far he's fallen backwards in regards to that. See how far back he's gonna lose out in regards to the times. So that's the gap there. Reese just lost out on the overtake mode against Gecko. Oh wait, actually the rain's in play, so there is going to be no overtake mode. Now Reese actually got the pole position because of these conditions. Now let's see if Reese can transfer this into the race itself. Well, Dylan battling with Blonde. He gets past him and gets into the 14th position. And there it is there. Let's go a little tiny bit further back. Let's take a look at this. Here's Optic chasing Josh down for the 5th place position. Trying to get some momentum necessary to go for a shot and an attack. But nothing there out of there. Also, Redfire eyeballing Fusion, who also has a track limit penalty for too many track limits. So there is that there. Meanwhile, Optic, as you can see, he's got Josh caught and dead to rights. Let's see if Optic can make that momentum stick and try to get himself into the 5th place position. He's still eyeballing Josh here. We're staying close on this one. Redfire also behind, trying to catch up. He's trying to make a shot here, perhaps. Looking at it, looking at a peak, but nothing to make the stick happen. Meanwhile, here's Optic trying to chase Josh down, but these guys have opted with the same momentum there. Meanwhile, Redfire making a shot on the inside. He does so and up into the 8th place position as Fusion gets a 2nd track limit penalty, and Dylan now joins them. Redfire on a small recovery run. He's up in the 8th place. Now he's got Night Owl, Optic, and Josh to hunt down. Now, as I said, Night Owl has caught Optic and Josh as Josh is trying his best to hold him back. He's going the long way around, Optic is, but Josh slams the door shut in his face. And that's, like I said, that's allowing Night Owl to catch up here. So Josh playing the team game to help his Academy teammate out. Optic don't get too flushed just yet. Looks like, well, his car got a little evil out of 7, so he lost some good momentum out of there. Let's see what Optic's got as he's trying to hunt down Josh for that position. Nothing to materialize out of that one. But, so, as we mentioned with Cookie, he made a mistake on his pit entry because when he came in, he overshot out of turn 9, went all 4 wheels over the line, and then re-entered off of there. I believe that is going to, like I said, that could get him in trouble for a pit lane entry violation. Gecko is in the second place spot. He's basically pulled away from Reese here. Reese was on tabs with him, but now he's about a second and a half behind. So Reese just can't get the tires to materialize properly. Right on board with Night Owl for a little bit as Optic trying to get the right settings correct here as he's chasing down Josh for the 5th place position as he's trying to here. And now, as Optic is trying to chase Josh down, Night Owl trying to get in tune with him. Now let's see what we got for some momentum in this regard as we head into that position. We're seeing it here when Night Owl gets right up on the tail end of Optic. Little shimmy. Let's see if any of these guys are going to be making any kind of attack going into turn 3 here. And looks like nothing materializing as of yet for these guys here. Reese now closing off on 2 seconds behind Gecko now. So Reese just is having an issue trying to get these inters to work properly. So staying in 2 with this one. Just a little further back, by the way. Noticing that Red Fire can't seem to shake Fusion off, as Fusion is still staying within 1 second of him. And further back from there, Goat Lee has caught up to Knights. That's for the 12th place spot. He's right on board with Optic, as he is just trying to stay in tune, trying to keep tabs on Josh. He's just trying to hopefully go Josh into making a mistake, and that will be his time to capitalize to make the attack. Well worth it here. Night Owl in the background, as you can see, trying to chase down as well. Red Fire's starting to catch up as well. So let's see what Red Fire can do if he catches up to this pack. Now, we have seen crazy moments of Red Fire in wet conditions in the past. When you think back to season 7 Zandvoort, where Red Fire was very close to getting his first ever win in an Alpine, but then Jacob Hamzak wanted getting him to take the lead and the win, and that was in wet conditions. But Red Fire just on a recovery and just trying to catch back up, and he is doing so. He's gaining ground on these guys coming up. Meanwhile, Chungus is back into the pits for a second time, and Chungus is now officially gone 1 lap down in this race. Meanwhile, Dom is also going to be closing in on getting lapped as well. Knights has gone into the pits for a stop to get off of the inters that he had. Well, let's see what he's going to be winding up going to. And looks like the wets have come out. Is this track getting too wet for the inters to continue playing with? And we got a VSC. We have a VSC out on the track. I wonder what for. Well, it's not Chungus. Chungus is okay. And now we have a full safety car now. So somebody wound up losing their entire wing. Question is who though? losing their entire wing? Well, we got Fusion has substantial damage to that car. Has substantial damage to the wing. Ah, Bobby. Bobby's got no wing. That's what did. So that's what did it. It was Bobby. So Fusion has heavy damage to his wing. Bobby's got no wing. So that's what led to our safety car here. Well, Chungus is actually good and okay now because of this, he is now back on the lead lap with everybody going in. So Chungus is now back on the lead lap. Dom is now safe. And looks like that's what the VSC later safety car was. It was an incident involving Fusion and Bobby. That is why we have our safety car here. So, and Cryptic is what was that? Cryptic was going back in, but then he changed his mind and stayed out. I don't know if he went. I don't even know if there's a commitment line. If there's like a commitment line for your pit entry. I mean, I know if you go out but then go back in, that's basically a pit entry violation. But I mean, I don't know if what Cryptic did is a violation for exiting out from a pit entry. See, whether you can cross the white line at pit entry depends whether you are actually entering pit lane or it's just staying on the main track. You cannot cross the line if you commit to entering the pits, but if you touch or cross it, you must stay on the circuit and not pit. Okay, so staying on track. If a driver is racing on the main circuit and does not enter the pit lane, touching or running over the pit entry line is generally permitted as long as it doesn't breach standard track limit rules or show intent to pit. So, I guess if I'm reading it right, I guess Cryptic might be in trouble. But I really don't know. I honestly don't know that. I mean, we've seen people like cross the line and then go back in to go pit, but something like that. But like going in, but then changing your mind and going back out. I don't think I've seen it, so I'm not sure if that is actually allowed or not. I really do not know. Oh, anyway, safety car is coming in this lap. So, let's see how Cookie controls the field from Reese. So, very quickly, by the way, your top 10 right now, it is Cookie, Reese, Gecko, Cryptic, Josh, Optic, Night Owl, Optic, Optic, Night Owl, Savage, Rev Fire, and Bobby. That is your top 10. Rest of the field, it's Fusion, Goatly, Blonde, Dylan, Knights, Dom, and Chungus. So he is taking off and gets a good, strong momentum. Reese caught napping just a tiny bit. That's going to allow Cookie to run off with this. And he is off. We're back on the way here in Austria. Now everybody's in single file. Gonna get some right momentum necessary in. Now looking at the tires here, everybody except for Chungus are on the inters. Chungus is on the wet compound tires, but that's actually a question to see if that's gonna actually work. Meanwhile, Josh fending off Cryptic as he tried to go on the outside. Savage in the background, fending off Red Fire. But here goes Cryptic again on the outside. Again, trying to get that necessary momentum needed. And Josh just keeps fighting and holding Cryptic back. So Josh up in the 4th. And Cryptic losing out on a position. Now let's see, as there's Night Owl thought about making a move on Optic for the 6th place position. Little squirreliness out of Optic there. And that's allowed Night Owl to back off and breathe in. But because of the battle between Cryptic and Josh, well, guess what? The top 3, Reese, Gecko, and Cookie, have taken off. They're over 2 seconds. Gecko's 2 seconds clear of Josh. Cookie currently about a second clear of Reese right now, just trying to get the momentum he needs to do anything here. Gecko trying to catch up, wants to make a move too, but there goes Night Owl thought about again on a move on Optic, but just can't seem to get the momentum he needs. Cryptic can't get the momentum he needs. He's losing tabs to Josh. I believe if Josh keeps the position that he's in, Josh is going to be looking at Haas's strongest points finish in a long time. And Cookie into the penalty box! That was at turn 8! Oh man! Cookie into the penalty box! And could be facing an issue regarding that pit entry when he went to the inters on the first stop. But now Cookie's turned on the heat to try to pull a gap. And we got a safety car. A second safety car. And I have a feeling I think it's for Chungus. Yes, it is. Savage just hit the back of Night Owl. They got a 10-second for it. Yeah, there's damage to that wing. And Bobby and Fusion are causing issues. I think Bobby and Fusion are not happy at each other. Fusion is just trying to let Bobby through. Now Cryptic and Savage are in the pits. And Hards? Huh? It's still raining. Why is Cryptic going under the hard compound tires? Well, this is an interesting. This is interesting then. Well, I have a feeling that Cryptic was not supposed to be on these tires. I think it was supposed to be on these tires. I think this is probably a mistake. I I wonder if I wonder if the Ferrari strategists have invaded the Red Bull pit crew, because that just doesn't make any sense. For Cryptic to be on the hard compound tires, I just don't get it. I mean, literally, that just doesn't make any sense. All right. So once the safety car crosses the line, we'll be beginning lap number 24. So we're going to be about 13 laps left in this race. So Cookie still has his lead over Reese. Gecko is currently in third. Josh, by the way, still maintaining that fourth place spot. Very solid run there. Optic sitting in fifth, Night Owl in sixth, Redfire in seventh. Fusion, despite having 6 seconds of penalties, he's in eighth. Goatley in ninth, and Blonde is sitting in the 10th place spot. So Cadillac is looking at getting a points paying position if Blonde can keeps his wits about him. Now, Cadillac does have 10 points currently on the board. So we'll have to wait and see. But with that 6 seconds of penalties that Fusion has, well, Dylan has a 3-second penalty too. But I was going to say, if Dylan did not have a penalty, he could get past Knights and probably challenge for the position, but we'll see there. But anyways, safety car is in this lap as Cookie keeps a grip on the field here. So you can see in his speed, he is in the 50s. Now up to 60. So he is good in his speed here. Let's see. Now Reese is gonna watch, because Reese is gonna have to watch for when Cookie bolts off. Oh, he's bolting now. That's incredibly early to bolt. But I think Reese scattered it just a little bit. Scattered it better than the last run, but we're back underway with 12 to go here in with 12 laps to go here in Austria. Now, Gecko trying to catch up to Reese to try to get that momentum necessary here. Meanwhile, Night Owl all over the back of Optic. Let's see if he's going to make a shot here. On the outside goes Night Owl. Optic keeps it scouted. Switch back in play, but can't get the right momentum necessary to make anything stick out of it. And Optic still keeps that 5th spot. Ooh, Optic into the penalty box. Optic into the penalty box. That's what Night Owl definitely needed there. That's for sure. Definitely needed that. And that'll have Rough Fire as well. And that breathes a sigh of relief to Josh. Because Josh in that 4th place spot, he's nice and happy in there. Bobby into the penalty box. And Cryptic just... oh, damn it. Yeah, Josh in 4th. He's definitely looking at Haas's best points position here. Knight's in the penalty box now. And Cryptic has just lost tabs on everybody here. Yeah, he definitely picked the wrong tire to be on. He definitely picked the wrong tire there. Meanwhile, Bobby and Dylan are battling it out for the 13th place, a 12th place spot, and Dylan keeps that position for the time being. Meanwhile, Red Fire bumping with playing some bumpers with Night Owl. He's trying to get that momentum necessary there. Meanwhile, Cookie only gained about 0.4 couple of tenths over Reese over the last couple of laps. Here we go into this. And, oh, we got trouble. Bobby with Dylan. And we got a crash. Bobby is... oh, wait, no. Bobby retired on the track. Bobby had an incident with Dylan because they were battling for that. And Bobby has retired on the track. He's out. And now Cryptic into the penalty box. Alright, let's get back to this gangle of cars here. Night Owl, Optic, Red Fire, Fusion, Goat Lee. These 4 cars are so snug together, you can fit them inside of a hot dog. And let's see, Optic just hanging on because he wants to try to get, at least try to get a gap here because he knows he's losing multiple spots right now. Let's take a look here with Optic here. So, if the race ended right now, Optic is going to fall down to the 8th position. So, Optic will still be getting points, but he is just going to get a lot less than he is right now. I wonder how many warnings recent Gecko are on. Let's see. Gecko, nothing. Reese has 1. Look at that speed on Red Fire. That speed on Red Fire in those corners. But it's not gonna fare much because of that Ferrari tax. That Ferrari speed tax. And now go lead into the penalty box. That allowed Optic to be in 7th now. But here comes Night Owl on the outside, trying, gunning it, braking late. Braking late goes both of them. Red Fire now taking advantage. He gets blocked by Optic. Optic now inside. Night Owl gets clear. Night Owl finally gets by. And now 3 wide. Miniature 3 wide action. Red Fire gets a little scrambled up. Red Fire went for a shot around the outside. And now he's trying it on Optic. And Optic maintains 6. Red Fire definitely not happy there. Cryptic gets a 2nd penalty. And Cookie gets another one too. That's in turn 9. Oh, Red Fire gets 1 at 9. That's Dylan in trouble at turn 8. Red Fire. Whoa, what a shot! And in a 6 goes Red Fire. Nice attack. Williams both battling it out. Gecko gets past. Dylan into the pits and he retires. Gecko passed in turn 3. Now Reese needs to try again. Try something. Skies are clearing up. Guys are clearing. And Josh, by the way, just fell out at a 6-second gap to Cookie. The rain's gone. The rain's gone. Well, how long will the track take to dry? Or is Inter's going to be the way to end? Reese is taking a risk. Reese is risking it. Reese is risking it going in. This is a massive risk on Reese's part. This is a massive gamble. Night Owl's going in. Optic is in. Fusion up to 9 seconds now. This is a huge risk on Reese's part. This is a huge risk. But will this work? Will it pay off? Cryptic, I guess now with the hearts, he finally gets his tires back in. He just got past Night Owl. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. All right, so the gap 20.2 seconds between Reese and Cookie. Chungus gets past Dom for the 9th spot. Oh, Reese is gaining. Reese has already gained over a second. Cookie has gone in. Gecko is staying out. Josh is in. So this could work in Reese's favor. There goes Savage. Savage is in there. Let's see with Reese. Oh, Dom sped. And Reese gets past Chungus. Cookie still stays ahead, but not by much. 0.6 of a second. Overtake's active. Boost is active. Remember, Cookie's got 6 seconds of penalties. So this is where things fall into place. Now a Gecko, when he crosses the line, 4 laps to go. Gecko is staying. Gecko is staying. Rip Fire's staying. Both Williams are staying out. Cookie gets past Knights. Knights is staying out. Here goes Reese, down the inside, gets past Knights. Easy and quick. Oh no! Knights is holding him back! Well, maybe not, never mind. But Reese deciding to hold off. Now lost nearly 2 seconds to Cookie. But remember, Cookie's got 6 seconds. So basically, Cookie, what he's got to hope for, he's got to get past both Fusion and Goat Lee, and those two need to be a rolling barricade to keep Reese back. 3 to go coming up. Cookie getting past Goat Lee. And now gets past Fusion. Up to 3rd. Cookie's got 11 seconds to reach Gecko. Reese is out of range. He has no battery. Oh, Cookie had a problem. Cookie had a minor malfunction. He lost some time to Red Fire. There's the barricade. Actually, Goat Lee's opted not to fight. And now Reese passing Fusion, no problem. Now Cookie on Red Fire. He gets past. Red Fire does have a track limit penalty, but it's only 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Reese currently 2.6 seconds behind Cookie. Now we saw Blonde in trouble. Josh gets passed by both Night Owl and Josh. Knights gets passed by Josh and Night Owl. Night Owl now roars past Josh for 7th. Now he's got to catch up to the Williams pair. 1.5 laps to go. Reese 2.6 behind Cookie. Reese gets past his teammates. Final lap kicking off. Final lap kicked in. Holy cow. Just some craziness. The mixed conditions playing in. And Gecko opted and risked to stay out, and he is going to make it work. As there's the Williams just both battling out for 5th place. Goat Lee is looking at a 5th place spot, perhaps, but maybe not. Here comes Night Owl. Night Owl's coming up. But conditions, mixed conditions. We had dry, wet, and dry. Gecko opted to not go in, and he stayed out, and he's going to capitalize on it. Goes 3 in a row. Gecko is going to win here in Austria. Cookie will come across in 2nd, but that honor goes to Reese. He gets 2nd place over Cookie. Red Fire will have to settle for the 3rd place spot, for 4th for right now. Cookie is in 3rd, but only temporarily. Night Owl gets 5th. Goat Lee 6th. Josh in 7th. Oh, big crash. That's Josh in 7th. Savage in 8th. Optic is in 9th. And Fusion will wrap up the points in 10th place. So Red Bull does get points. Well, wow, what a mess. But Gecko on top of the podium with Reese, and unofficial, it is Cookie. But like I said, unofficially, because Cookie could, if it is submitted, Cookie could face, that could be looked at first pit entry, for that pit entry on the first stop. But we'll have to wait and see in regards to that. But driver of the day, it gets given to Go Lee. The guy that did the flying Dutchman move in turn 1. But there it is. So Gecko is your winner with Reese 2nd, Cookie 3rd, unofficially. Red Fire 4, Night Owl 5, Goat Lee 6, Josh 7, Savage 8, Optic 9, Fusion and 10. And then the rest of the field is Knights, Chungus, Cryptic, Blonde, Dom, and our 2 DNFs, Dylan and Bobby. What a wild race that was. And we did. Oh. What a wild race. and we did it. And we also did it in 1080p, by the way. We did it in 1080p. It worked. So Reese will definitely be happy for that. Well, that is going to wrap up the stream for today's event. And I will say this: I think driver today. I'm gonna give it a Gecko. I'm just gonna give it a Gecko, being straight up, because he was like I said, 3 in a row. He stayed out on the inters, made those work, and still won by over 5 seconds over his teammate. So solid stuff there. But another person, I would say two other people I'm gonna give the shout outs to is Josh and Optic. They both raced incredibly well, and they were timing their strategies just perfectly, and they still got good points in the end of it. So they did extremely good. Well, going into next week for round 9, we'll be at Silverstone for this, and this is going to be a home race for a lot of the drivers here, and we'll see if Gecko will continue on his winning streak there. And you'll see Wildstorm back in along with me on the co-com for this, but everything is going to be all hunky-dory going into next week. But till then, this is RPL F1 with Ty and I Wolf signing off. We'll see you next week.